Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Thursday, August 7th. With me, I have two fabulous co hosts, I Chill and my favorite Taurus. Hey, y'all.
Hey, hey.
Hello, good morning.
And we have what I think is some good tea for us to get into. So sorry we weren't able to give you any tea yesterday, but we are back with lots of tea to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
Let's get into the tea time.
Yes. Well, our first story is the reason that our show exists, Brooke Hogan. Well, she's in the news, honey. And she pretty much said in a nutshell, y'all keep lying on me, I will be calling my lawyers. So, y'all see where I have this TMZ link. Brooke Hogan unloads on family drama. I'm not the one to mess with. So Brooke Hogan's got a lot to say about her family, her late father's funeral, his sex tape, and their complicated relationship. But she's got a message for some folks in Hulk Hogan's camp. Keep spinning lies about her and prepare to lawyer up. Brooke joined us on TMZ Live Wednesday and opened up about why she skipped her dad's funeral this week, why they became estranged, why she wanted out of the will, and why the last few weeks have been especially hard for her. The um the TMZ interview was about 20 minutes long. I only watched part of it. I haven't watched like the entirety of it yet. But Hulk Hogan's daughter says people in her father's circle are spinning negative narratives about her, and the lies have gotten so unbelievable it's laughable, and also making her mad. Brooke says the stories about her coming out of Hulk's camp, that she ghosted him in Jacksonville, that she returned unopened gifts, that she skipped the funeral, make it clear to her folks who relied on Hulk for their paycheck are worried that their golden goose is gone and afraid of what Brooke knows. She says that she and her father had love for each other and confided in her before marrying Sky Daily, but she doesn't trust a lot of people who were around him. Brooke says she just wants to spend time with her children and remember Hulk, but she hasn't eaten or slept in weeks and is a nervous wreck because she has to constantly respond to what she says are false stories about her. Says she wanted out of the will to avoid what she felt would be inevitable family infighting over money. It seems the fight has come to her anyway. Or but the only thing that makes her sad is getting crapped on for not going to a funeral, not going to funerals her dad never wanted battle if folks at Holt's camp continue to spew these lies. Bottom line for Brooke, the war of words is ridiculous and it's time to leave her and her father alone and let that poor man go to heaven. Mm. But if it continues, lawyer up because she's not the one to come after. And then they say catch the full interview on TMZ Live. Okay, girl. Well, Brooke, I love you, sweetie, but I hate to break it to you. Your father is not going to heaven. That's the last place that he is right now. In fact, he's looking up at you, smiling for the kind things that you said about him. So, anyway, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
He said, "It's hot down here, brother." No, but
And can
you're
I say it's because of him that I do not. Well, that's that on that. Did anybody want to add anything to Brooke and her daddy before we go to the next story? Oh, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
you know what? I definitely I just think about when you read that, I thought about it from a different perspective because when you think about the notion of heaven and the religious backing of that construct and what we're seeing in the world today, it's not what they believe it is. And essentially, it's like a gilded mess of whatever. So a gilded mess of destruction disguised as harmony and all that stuff. So he might very well might be there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, honey, that's that. I'm sure this is probably not because I feel like somebody from the camp is gonna try her, and she probably is gonna have to call that lawyer and send out some lawsuits to let people know that she is not the one. Well, honey, so our next story, I'm sure, like when you think about like Diddy and anything that like this man, because he's pretty much had to defend his name and a lot of his people around. But the last person I would think that would have to defend herself from being like involved with Diddy, quote unquote, would be Gloria Estefan. And yes, y'all heard me right. Gloria Estefan. So I have this all hip hop article. Gloria Estefan blast lawsuit claims about secret tunnel to Diddy's mansion. So Gloria Estefan is standing firmly by her husband against Sean Diddy Combs. The winning singer was named in a federal suit filed by Manzaro Joseph, who claims he was sexually assaulted at a 2015 party on Star Island, allegedly connected to Diddy. The lawsuit alleges Joseph was transported through a tunnel from the Estefan's property to Diddy's mansion. Emilio is named as a defendant. Gloria is not. Rejected the claims, calling them damaging to their decades-long reputation in Miami and worldwide. She stressed that she and Emilio were not living in the property at the time and that it was occularly given the occupants of the home. I know that no parties were thrown during that time period. She insisted that she or Emilio would have been made aware had strangers appeared after midnight. She also refuted the alleged tunnel existence, saying at no time was there ever any tunnel between the two houses. And I believe this fact could have been easily verified through the public records of the city of Miami Beach. Gloria said she had never been inside Diddy's house and that he had never entered their residence or family home except after Diddy purchased the property in 2021. She further claimed the negative publicity from the lawsuit disrupted the marketing of her new music produced by Emilio, causing significant financial harm and lost sales. Mm-mm. So, do y'all think there's a tunnel?
That's a good question.
Oh, thank you all for the comments. I see y'all. My mic was choppy. Let me refresh, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
I almost said something. I forgot we're recording.
Right. Yeah, because you've been on a roll already this morning.
I've been good.
Whatever. Your definition of good and my definition of good are two different things. I'm just saying, favorite Taurus.
I'm an angel.
Mm,
And the thing is, I suspected that this might happen because
Oh shit.
at the an indicator, maybe my audio will be going out too.
well, you
Huh?
thought, yeah, it's still happening. You thought it was an indicator because what now?
That my audio was going to be out too. Usually when y'all go out, that means
Oh,
I'm going out for y'all too.
oh, you hear us doing the same thing.
Oh, so
Yes,
it's
I do, and it's frustrating, but um we'll get through it because the thing is, I thought the Bluetooth was the what was causing that, but no, I
Yeah,
actually have my mic plugged in directly.
yeah.
So
Well, I don't
that's
know
very
because
interesting.
when Will talks, he doesn't go out. So I think when you're hearing us going out, it's you. It's still you.
I find it
Whatever's going on.
I find it very interesting. That's all.
Well,
I didn't.
and
Okay.
y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's like a delay, a really bad delay on
mm-hmm.
my end.
It is. It is. It is.
The sun is out finally.
So back to the tunnel. Um, do, do we think that was a tunnel? Um, I mean, anything is possible. But pictures are it didn't happen. That's all I got to say. I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, mm, but she'd say I just feel like that is one of those stories that's like too too good to be true, but it might be true because she's sitting there saying, "Well, that's something that could verify that." Like I don't this story that's like one of those outrageous stories that could be shows.
Yeah, it's so outrageous that it could possibly be true. Like you, it puts doubt in your mind. But
Yeah. Well, does anybody want to add anything about this possible or diddy before we go to the next story? And hopefully, you all will be able to hear me read it and I won't go in and out.
well,
This
I
is
don't
actually a
know
good story, honey.
because we missed some good parts of the other story. So let's see what happens.
Damn it. All right. Well, our next story, Peter Patricia Thomas, honey, is going to jail. So I have this Vibe article, and you see where it says Peter Thomas, Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband, begins federal prison sentence for tax evasion. Former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Peter Thomas has officially begun his federal prison sentence after pleading guilty to failing to pay taxes. The 64-year-old restaurateur reported to the Federal Correctional Institution in Miami on Friday, August 1st, to begin serving 18 months behind bars, according to the Baltimore Banner. Thomas, who once appeared on Bravo along with his wife Cynthia Bailey, entered his guilty plea on July 2nd of 2024 in U.S. court in Charlotte, North Carolina. He admitted to one count of willfully failing to collect and pay over employment taxes, a violation of 26 USC 7202, whatever that legal jargon means. So, hospitality and media ventures across Charlotte, Baltimore, and Miami, including Club One, CLT, Sports One, and Bar One, Miami Beach, and Bar One, Baltimore. Prosecutor said for withholding payroll taxes from employees' wages, but instead of paying the IRS, he moved millions between companies' accounts and funded personal expenditures, including travel and retail splurges at luxury brands.
Oh my God.
In total, his companies failed to pay more than 2.5 million in payroll taxes, with over 1.7 million from that employee withholding taxes. Prosecutors allege that Thomas ignored repeated warnings, signed off on multiple IRS forms confirming the owed amounts, and even told staff not to submit payments at times. Despite prosecutors originally recommending up to 30 months for sentencing, the court landed on 18 months, followed by 2 years of supervised release. Thomas will also pay more than 2.5 million in restitution to the IRS. Ahead of his sentencing, Thomas used Instagram to have a candid moment with his followers and to give advice to new business owners. I must say to all new business owners, please pay that withholding tax. You do not want to be in the position that I am in right now. The law is the law. It's not easy for us black men, especially in my industry. No bank fund, restaurant, bar, lounge. We have to put that shit on us. He came in my life. It's called accountability and responsibility. My road to redemption. He added, I have three black sons and I must lead by example. Also, for my four beautiful grandson, uh, this life ain't easy, but we're resilient, and your granddaddy is a king. Bless. And by the way, I didn't just found God in my times of trouble. I was raised this way. Love, PT.
Ooh, there's a
Mm.
lot of um, discrepancies in his. What?
Wake it up.
Word salad for real, commenter. Word salad, because that was crazy. But I broke the
And then
law.
gonna try to
And
say, to all new business owners, like, who you don't have to tell them that. You should took your own damn advice.
right, he knew what he was doing was illegal. It wasn't like he didn't know, and he did it anyway. And now it's don't be like me. Get out of here with that.
I must say, he's a very handsome man, honey, and I'm sure they're gonna think so too in prison.
Handsome and stupid.
Yep. Go ahead, favorite.
I'm an optimistic person, right? I'm also a realist as well. And I believe this might be an exaggeration. This is Peter's 12th failed business. I understand having a goal, a dream, and wanting and aspiring to execute, but God may sometimes also say, this ain't for you. You may want to go into accounting. And it's a shame he didn't heed that warning years ago.
Well, especially if you got to try to do it by hook or crook. I mean, obviously, I guess he couldn't pay his personal finances, so he's keeping this money that he's supposed to be using for withholding tax to fund his life. Um, that's not the way that works. You know that wasn't legal.
Yes, indeed. I'm just glad. You imagine her still being married to his ass and still going through this? Ooh. Mm.
No way.
Will consider her track record, yes.
Yeah, she probably saw how he was moving in the beginning before it got to this point. So, yeah, she got out of Dodge.
Well, does anybody want to add anything else about PT or his 12 allegedly failed businesses before we go to the next story?
Clink
God,
clink.
God be with you.
Well, our next story. Now I know her name is pronounced Raven Simone, but I have grown up calling this girl Raven Simone, and it just feels so. I usually like to call people by their names, but it's just not gonna happen this time. I've spent like over 30 years of my life calling this girl Raven Simone, so that's what we just gonna call her until she explicitly says, "Don't call me Ramon no more." Then that's when I'll stop.
Let me
But
call.
anyway, I bring her up.
Let me call her. Ra- Raven, I need you to call into the show, baby. Okay?
Locked article. She actually is talking in the an interview. Raven Simone reveals her ex boyfriend got another woman pregnant during their relationship, and then asks her to be the godmother. So, uh, in a live, one reveals something about a past relationship. We were together for a really long time, Raven said on August 5th, and he got another girl pregnant. Raven and her ex boyfriend were in a 7-year relationship before he stepped out and got another woman pregnant. The best part of it was that he asked me to be the godmother for the kid. She recalled. He still talks about it all the time, dumbass. Talk about nerve. That's not even just disrespectful, it's delusional. But Raven, being the composed queen she is, didn't let it turn ugly. In fact, she shocked everyone with her level of grace. We're still in communication now, she added. He's been through a lot. Nothing but love and respect for his family and all he's been through. Raven's current wife, Miranda Madey, didn't let the story ride without tossing in some shade. Playfully, of course. She joked about taking inspiration from Carrie Underwood's Savage Anthem before he cheats and damaging the ex's car. but Raven came through with the smoothest clapback. He didn't have a car. Woo, that shade. The subtle read had folks online cracking up, but beyond the jokes, it's clear that Raven has fully moved on and her glow up in love is inspiring. Raven is now thriving in her day. The two got married in 2020 and have since become a true power couple, not just romantically, but professionally too. If you say so, girl. Anyway, we respect each other. We're besties first and foremost, Raven told E! News in 2023. We're lovers, we're business partners, and we know that there's a common goal. Together, the duo co hosts the best podcast ever, a space where they bring their personalities to the mic and connect with fans on a deeper level. But what really makes their union beautiful is the intentionality they've built into their relationship. Raven said they started off by discussing what they wanted their life to look like. At the beginning of our relationship, we had a conversation about what our life was going to look like, she explained. So our relationship is creating, being partners in business, and then at nighttime we Netflix it up with each other and we have our weekends where we do staycations and things of that nature. Okay, girl, I guess. Anyway, so I just brought this up because that's the delusion of that. Um yeah, I see your comment here. Yeah, girl, I'm gonna have to look into that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely worse than normal today.
Mhm.
Well, again, we still gonna try to work through it
Yeah.
until y'all can't hear me for like 5 minutes straight.
That's really
But yeah,
crazy though. Jesus.
mm, yeah, and I actually I'm not a fan of Raven's wife for personal reasons, but if she's happy, I guess I'm happy for her. But who do y'all think this because well, for her to be she said that this relationship lasted for 7 years. And I don't know her to have dated a man for that long. Usually her relationship with men um are usually don't go any more than like 4 years. So hmm.
Maybe she kept it really private at the time that she was dating this person because I don't ever remember her being linked, you know, to any man. Period. Not that I've followed her life, but like on the red carpet or out in public or whatever, I can't recall seeing her with anyone that I could say, oh, they were together a long time.
Well, it's been a couple because like the millennials, honey, we pretty much grew up with this girl, so she was pretty much thrown in our faces. So if we didn't see her on the Cosby Show, we saw her on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. If we didn't see her with Hanging with Mr. Cooper, we saw her on That's So Raven. So and Raven was like out there, and so I actually found this website. It's actually called Who's Dated Who, and it does like a celebrity dating history and simplifies it for us. So you see how it says Raven Simonier. Oh, I hate saying it like that, but anyway, you see how it says she's married and who was she linked to? So we know about As Marie, the girl from Top Model. And you see how that was from 2012 to 2015. She dated Justin Smollett from 2007 2011.
Huh.
Lil J, mm-hmm, Lil J, who famously played Devon on That's So Raven. She dated him from 2003 to 2007. There was some guy named Marquise C. I don't know much about him, but she dated him for 3 years, and now her current wife. So you know who I think would have had the baby on her? I think it might be Lil J.
Right.
I
Out of
have
all
nothing to
those
prove
people.
this.
Yeah.
hmm Because she's actually the one who's he's still in contact with her today because he still plays his character Devon on Raven's Home when they brought That's So Raven back.
Mhm.
He still plays that same character. So yeah, she's still in contact with him to today. And he seems like the type of light-skinned ass motherfucker who would have a baby on a woman and then ask her to be the godmother of that child.
Well, we know Juicy don't have no children. I don't know the other one.
Go ahead, favorite tour.
Well, do we know if there was a huge age discrepancy? Because if it's 7 years and it's only indicating that they were together for 4, would she be underage or would he be underage? Which is the reason why it hasn't been explicitly stated that it was a full 7 years to
Mm.
um, kind of like what am I trying to say? Just so that doesn't look like somebody was underage at the time that they were together, that type of thing. Because that can
Right,
cause issues.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yep. Well, that's that on that. So it looks like we all in agreement that out of all of these options that we see, it could be Lil J.
That was Raven Simonier calling me back. She say, "Don't do that no more."
You tell that Sagittarius I'll do whatever I want. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I know it. I remember she when she did that interview with the texturizer lady. When she explicitly stated that her last name is pronounced Simone, but she still allows people to call it because it's easier to say, and it was something that was done back in the '90s. I don't think she has an issue if we use what we've already, the name that we're already familiar with, or how we say it.
Yes, well, she better be, because it wasn't changed. Let me stop. Similar to Elon wanting everybody to call Twitter X so bad, we're calling it Twitter.
Twitter. These are tweets on
Hmm.
Twitter.
Well, speaking of tweets, honey, Kevin Federline has actually gotten a few angry tweets from Britney's fans. So, and the reason why is because he's actually planning on writing his memoir, or his memoir is actually coming out, excuse me. So I have this TMZ article. You see where it says here, Kevin Federline, I'll tell you everything in my new tell all. So Britney Spears' ex, Kevin Federline, is dropping a tell-all, which he promises will be extremely intimate and transparent, and fans are not happy. The tell-all, titled "You Thought You Knew," promises to detail his entire life, from his working-class upbringing to his time as a professional dancer, and will include the years during his marriage to the Princess of Pop and the accompanying media circus, according to a press release. Kevin Federline says in the release, I achieved my biggest dreams, dealt with crushing heartbreak, and endured constant ridicule, all while becoming the father my children needed as they experienced nonstop emotional turbulence. If you've ever had questions, you'll find answers here. As you know, the former pro dancer was married to Britney from 2004 to 2007, and they share two sons, Sean Preston and Jaden James. The toxic hitmaker lost custody of her boys in 2007 after a string of concerning events and rarely saw them during her controversial conservatorship that lasted from 2008 to 2021. She began reconnecting with her sons in the last few years and most recently praised Jaden for his rapping skills in March of this year. Kevin moved on from Britney with Victoria Prince, to whom he's been married since 2008. They have two children and currently live in Hawaii, where Victoria works as a volleyball coach at the University of Hawaii. He also shares a daughter, Corey, and a son, Caleb, with his ex, Shar Jackson. They got together before his turbulent relationship with Britney. Britney's loyal fans are livid K-Fed is publishing a tell-all, with many accusing him of trying to cash in on her name, and one even labeling him as a professional freeloader. Here's like three of the tweets here. Like, somebody's doing a money grab after they've been cut off after 20 years of money from Britney. How fucking disgusting. Another says, nobody asked for this. He was a dancer, knocked up two celebrities, abandoned the first one and their kids while she was still pregnant, then married the more famous one, and took her kids for the child support money. All that in one long run-on sentence. And then this tweet says, I cannot stress this enough. We literally do not give a fuck up K Fed. Britney has yet to publicly react to the news, though she did encourage fans to keep their heads held high and follow their hearts in an Instagram post on Wednesday night. Remember, the news of Kevin's book comes almost 2 years after Brit released her The Woman in Me memoir. You Thought You Knew is an audio first release debuting on Barracuda Baby Productions' new platform, Listening. However, physical copies will also be available. It'll be out on October 21st.
Hmm.
So I'm sure. sure I kind of want to hear the story. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to see what he has to say because now that one tweet when she talked about him like abandoning Shar Jackson when she was pregnant and leaving her for Brittany, that most certainly is true. But I want to hear like his upbringing, his background as a dancer, how he met Brittany, hell, how he met Shar, how his. But looking at the women he's been with, he does seem to have a thing for like working girls and kind of like being a kept man from what we see.
Right.
So, but I want to hear what he has to say. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I don't. However, I'm a firm believer that folks should be able to tell their story. And I understand. Well, we know how stand-up exists, and people will be very erratic around people that they don't know, aka celebrities that have like an attachment to an attachment to their art. I'm a firm believer that everyone should be able to um, share their story. You just don't have to read the shit. So I mean, it makes perfect sense as to why he would want to go down this angle. Why a publisher wouldn't want to even pick it up because of who he's attached to. If we think about what he's done since then, he hasn't done anything. So essentially, that's all that he can make money off of, and people have the right to attempt to make money off of. So I mean, hey, more power to him. I won't be engaging with the bullshit. But I'm pretty sure his three fans will be very happy that he wrote a memoir.
His three fans and this messy bitch, Auntie Derek, honey. Cause yes. I would, cause baby, you remember, honey, we were all like, I'm sure you remember this like it was yesterday, honey. When them two got together, a lot of us were heavily invested. We was like, why would she date this trailer park trash? Then we learned that she's trailer park trash herself, so it just kind of fits. But anyway, when they had the show come out, what was it called? Chaotic with K Fed and Brittany. Oh, baby, when I tell you I was here for them and I was here for this relationship, so I just want to hear like the insides of that, like what they were what did a day for Kevin and Brittany look like? What did a day look like for him with him and Shar? So I'm I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I was on the opposite end of the spectrum, Auntie. I couldn't give two shits what they had going on. I am so sorry. I was too busy focused on other things I cannot. Never mind. I was too busy focused on other things, right? So I didn't give a fuck. I did not watch Chaotic. I did not care. The only reason why I paid attention to it is because we were indoctrinated with what they were doing on the daily basis on the TRLs and the this and the that. Oh my god, you couldn't escape it. So it's not like even if you wanted to ignore it, you couldn't because it was everywhere considering her status as an artist at the time. But I didn't give two shits about him or Britney. I was like, just give me the music and leave me alone. That's where I was.
Yeah, it was quite a few people just like Will, in my classroom and in my circle that was like, I don't give a shit about them damn white people, but because I love mess, I was all up in. Well, speaking of mess, before we started recording, I actually teased that I had a story about a celebrity, and I'm using that term like very loosely because I don't. I mean, we know who he is. I don't even think you can call him a celebrity anymore, really. But he's planning on joining ICE, and that celebrity is Dean Cain. Are we surprised? Not really. I know I wasn't. But y'all see, I have this TMZ article. Dean Cain says, I'm joining ICE ASAP. And there's about a 2-minute video of him talking to Fox News about it. So let me just play this video so we can get it over with, child.
You're going to be doing at ICE?
Well, let me go back a minute here, Jesse. This is all your fault, by the way. And I'll explain why. Because I put out a recruitment video yesterday. I'm actually a deputy sheriff, a sworn deputy sheriff, and a reserve police officer. I wasn't part of ICE. But once I put that out there and you put a little blurb on your show, it went crazy. So now I've spoken with some officials over at ICE, and I will be sworn in as an ICE agent ASAP. So they'll have 80,001 recruits for their 10,000 positions.
Well, they can't have an apprehending guys?
I will do whatever Director Lyons wants me to do. If that's what it takes, absolutely. I somehow doubt I'll be in that position in a heartbeat. These brave men and women need someone to stand up for them. So rarely, these days are we seeing someone like Daniel Penny stands up, he gets vilified. Dan Bongino steps up, gives up $5 million a year, and goes and takes position at the FBI. This is the kind of thing where people have to step up. I'm stepping up. Hopefully, a whole bunch of other former officers, former ICE agents will step up, and we'll meet those recruits.
What is it about serving this country that's inspiring to you?
It always has been for me. It's the reason I became a police officer during that time when everyone was trying to defund the police. That's when I stepped up and joined because it makes no sense to me. It's totally insane. And this country was built on patriots stepping up, whether it was popular or not, and doing the right thing. I truly believe this is the right thing. I truly believe. Listen, the United States takes in more legal immigrants every single immigration system. Congress needs to fix it. But in the interim, President Trump ran on this. He is delivering on this. This is what people voted for. It's what I voted for. And he's going to see it through. And I'll do my part and help make sure it happens.
Well, what I will say is that his Japanese cousins, they need to do their part and gather around his ass and beat the fuck out of him and his stupid ass. Oh my god. So we have a comment saying, no wonder I didn't want to see Superman. Okay, so what I will say, you should go see the most recent Superman that came out. One, because it's good, and two, Dean Cain actually hated it because he felt that that Superman was too quote unquote woke. So yes, please don't let Dean Cain's stupid, swole, ugly looking ass keep you from seeing that movie because it was actually a good piece of work, especially after we had to suffer through Man of Steel franchises. Yeah, but I was just looking at this whole time and shaking my head. You fat fuck. Anyway, go ahead, favorite tours, because I'm about to get real mean.
Well, considering how his partial demographic has been seen as a model minority in America, I highly doubt that will happen. This is not. It's not at all surprising. No, it's the truth. History will say like, hey, there is a standard minority of which is supposed to be prevalent and present, and you are not like the others, therefore you are better than the others, aka black people. That demographic falls into that. So I don't think that'll happen. And it's not surprising at all, you know. So I mean, I give him 48 hours, and 36 of those hours will be of him crying. He is not prepared.
I think you're right. I can't believe a lot of us thought his ass was cute back in the night. Well, he was cute. I ain't gonna do that. He was cute. He was just a ass clown. We didn't know he was an ass clown until recently. Let's see. We have another comment. Send him to the Middle East war since he want to be in the military. Yep. And then we have another comment saying, "Fuck him." I concur. Well, does anybody want to add anything about Dean Kane's ugly ass before we go to the next story? And I mean ugly inside and out. Well, okay, so this next story. So y'all remember not too long ago we talked about Hot Boy Turk getting kicked off of the Cash Money Millionaires like reunion tour that they had, and he and his wife who's also his manager was threatening legal action. Well, Juvenile from Cash Money Millionaires has actually come out to speak about it. So I have this all hip hop article. Y'all see where it says Juvenile breaks silence on Hot Boy Turk's removal from Cash Money tour. And Juvenile is actually not happy about it. So Juvenile has finally broken his silence on Hot Boy Turk getting kicked off the Cash Money Millionaires 30th anniversary tour and says the decision was out of his hands. Speaking to TMZ on Tuesday, August 5th, the New Orleans rap vet explained it's kind of out of my control, that one there. The people that pay us, the higher ups, made a decision. It puts me in an awkward position because I'm the one who actually fought for my guy to be on the tour. Still, Juvenile said walking away wasn't an option. I got a new project coming out and I want to make sure I give the fans a show. The people who paid for these tickets, so I got to go through with it, right? While stressing that he likes to keep things positive, Juvie admitted the situation has been frustrating. He pointed out that everyone on the bill has their own separate contracts, so he doesn't know the details about Turk's deal, only that he was confused about how things went sour. When told Turk wasn't blaming his fellow hot boys, Juvenile was blunt. We didn't book the tour, we didn't pay him, it ain't on us. The drama kicked off when Turk was removed from the tour last month after rejecting a reduced payment offer for upcoming shows. He and his wife slash manager called the move retaliatory and announced plans to take legal action against the promoters. Turk has stressed that Cash Money Records wasn't behind it, saying he was booked like everyone else and even performed with BG without incident before the termination. He claims he was sent a late night notice labeling him a security risk, allegedly due to past online disagreements with BG. Turk and his wife have disputed the promoter's accounts, accusing them of slander and mishandling payments. Despite the fallout, Turk says he's focused on moving forward with new projects, including his album Joseph and a fan app. So, so Juvenile said this was out of his hands, but he's not happy about it. He was the one who fought for Turk to be on the tour, only to find out he was fired. But still, he was like, "Hey, I signed a contract. I got music coming out, and I got money to make, and my fans want to see me." Yeah, that's that on that. What does anybody want to add anything about Turk, Juvenile, Turk's wife slash manager, or anything else before we go to the next story? When I didn't say hey to my gorgeous girl, hey gorgeous. Well, the next story that we have, remember we talked about Soldier Boy. When was it? What was it Tuesday show? And we talked about him getting arrested for gun charges when he was in the passenger seat of someone's car. Well, it looks like he was able to catch a break from that. So y'all see I have this all hip hop article. Soldier Boy catches big break following latest arrest. Soldier Boy walked free Tuesday, August 5th, after prosecutors in Los Angeles declined to pursue charges tied to his weekend arrest for allegedly possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. A case was declined due to insufficient evidence, a spokesperson for the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office said in an email to Rolling Stone. Jail records show the 35-year-old rapper was released shortly before 2 p.m. local time. Also, that he was released by the time we finished the show. Anyway, the arrest happened early Sunday, August 3rd, after Los Angeles police pulled over a car Soldier Boy, born DeAndre Cortez Way, was riding in. Officers booked him on suspicion of being a felon in possession of a firearm, according to an LAPD spokesperson. Authorities did not provide details about what prompted the traffic stop. Oh, we know what prompted the traffic. They were driving while black. Are you kidding me? Anyway, the stop occurred near Melrose Avenue, not far from the storefront for Way's SODMG clothing brand. The arrest added to a growing list of legal issues for the Crank That rapper. In April, a jury awarded $4 million in damages to a former girlfriend who accused him of assault, sexual battery, and harassment. He was also convicted in 2014 for carrying a loaded weapon in a vehicle following an arrest in the San Fernando Valley. He has yet to publicly comment on the latest incident. And this pretty much talks about Soldier Boy's rise to fame and da 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 and all his that we don't need to really go into that because we've heard that several times before. And he's not shy about telling us himself. But yeah, so they decided not to pursue charges against them. I feel like if they probably did, not I see a comment that's a hard 35. Oh my,
Should have booked him for
but
that hair.
it should have. But I think if they did decide to pursue charges, what would have happened is that they probably would have it probably would have been an investigation into the officers who stopped them, and they probably would have had to release the body cam footage, and it probably wasn't going to show anything good. So, because you mean to tell me you a felon who just lost a civil case and had to put you mean to tell me you caught him with a gun or with a firearm, quote unquote, and you don't do your you they are ready and willing to throw us in jail. And you mean to tell me that you had an opportunity to do so and you didn't? Mm-mm. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. But Hey, I'm glad to see. Well, I'm not even gonna say that fuck Soldier Boy to be honest, but I just don't like seeing black people being thrown in jail for stuff like this. But it's Soldier Boy we're talking about. Anyway, we have a comment saying that we don't care. So I think I have the answer to my next question already. But does anybody want to add anything about him before we go to the next story?
We don't care, we said.
Well, one thing y'all may care about, honey, this next story, Busta Rhymes. So remember what? Well, first of all, congratulations on him getting his new star, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, blah blah blah. But remember when we talked about in this show that he had an assistant, and at his assistant's apartment complex, out in the lobby, he punched him in the face. Remember that? Well, now that assistant is actually suing that ass. So I have this hot new hip hop article. Busta Rhymes sued by ex assistant for alleged assault and labor law violations. So Busta Rhymes shocked fans this past January when he turned himself into police over an alleged assault incident at his Brooklyn building. Now, the alleged victim of that supposed attack, his former assistant, Dashiell Gables, wants millions of dollars in a lawsuit addressing the accusation. Per All Hip Hop, Gable's federal filing also accuses the New York rapper of labor law violations. The former assistant claims Busta punched his face in his Brooklyn apartment lobby after a verbal altercation due to Gables using his phone on the job. This allegedly resulted in Gables' eye swelling and emotional trauma. He also accuses the Taking Everything MC of failing to pay his wages and mistreating him under workplace law. Busta Rhymes turned himself in a few days after this alleged incident after allegedly fleeing the scene. Dashiell Gables went to the hospital with police and paramedics after a 911 call following the alleged incident. Busta's charges included third-degree and misdemeanor assault, attempted assault, and harassment, but it seems like this lawsuit shifted the focus. Furthermore, Gable seeks $6 to $7 million for the alleged assault, battery, wage theft, and infliction of emotional distress. Busta said the alleged incident cut him off and ended his employment with them. The former assistant will reportedly address the lawsuit later today, Thursday, August 7th, at a press conference with his legal team. Ooh, I can't wait to see that, honey. But Busta has more positive headlines to discuss. He recently received a walk on the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, we just talked about. It. Says nevertheless, we will see if this legal matter gets any more updates or developments. It seems like he doesn't have to worry as much about criminal accusations as much as the civil dispute. But then again, all that could change down the line. For now, a settlement may be on the horizon, or this could go for the long game. Perhaps either side of this debacle will clarify more information. Baby, if y'all need anything to show y'all that this is a lover's quarrel, I don't know what will, honey. So this
I was thinking the
is for using
same
his
thing.
phone.
The same thing crossed my mind. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm telling you. And I think isn't Busta
Using
Rhymes a
his phone
Taurus?
while he's working. Mm-mm.
Hello? Now, and I want y'all to keep the information that we have. Busta and this assistant were at the assistant's apartment, down in his lobby. Apparently, the assistant was on his phone during the job. Busta felt comfortable enough to punch that man in the face. They fucking. You ain't telling me nothing. They're fucking.
You know what, Auntie? Out of all the ones that this one, I'm like, yeah, I think you onto something here, boy. Cause that was weird.
David, 1 + 1 = 2, honey.
Buster, come out and live your truth, honey. Live your truth, baby.
Hmm.
Live it.
That's one of them who you talking to punches.
Exactly.
Chill out. Cackle out loud at work. I need you to stop.
Who the fuck you talking
Allegedly.
to? Give me your phone. No, I'm not giving you my phone. Pop.
Yeah, that sounds really, really sus right there.
Come on,
And no
Buster.
offense
Come
to my
out, live
favorite
your truth.
tourist, but Busta Rhymes is a tourist from Brooklyn. Have you ever ignored a
Yeah.
tourist man? it usually doesn't end well.
Yes,
So,
I do. Well, you're right, because they're very persistent. I've done it.
go ahead, favorite Taurus.
No, I agree with that. And the tempers do temper. I do say so myself. So it's very on brand. It's either one way or the other. There's no in between. That's all.
So this lawsuit right here is pretty much a DL divorce. Look, I'm divorcing your ass. Leave me alone and give me some money.
Oh my God, you're so right. You know what, Buster, if you want to come on onto the daytime tea and tell us, and in a safe space and come out to tell your truth, we're here. We're here for you.
I would love that, honey, but when it comes to him and his Jamaican background, nah, we will never see it. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
It's generational as well. You have to consider that because we, of course, we operate with recency bias in the way of queerness and how it's more accepted in spaces today. He just comes from a different time where he has built a. Well, I'm not. If this is the case, I know this is recording allegedly. Allegedly, this is hypotheticals, of course. If that were the case, he has built a life in a way of maneuvering and operating in this space that makes him comfortable and keeps him safe, which he is afforded to. So I don't ever believe that will happen. If that is the case, allegedly, allegedly.
Allegedly,
Hmm.
allegedly, and I don't believe he would, yeah, either, but yeah. But it's 2025. Be free.
That don't mean shit, Miranda. It's more so like
I know.
a mindset, though. Like, like people from you. Well, it's not uncommon for people in like their 80s and stuff to come out nowadays, which is lovely. I absolutely adore it. And when you peel back those layers a little bit differently, it's just that cognitive dissonance that kind of prevented them from living their truth in earlier years. And I definitely think this is the case here. If this is true, if this is true.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
allegedly, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to assume anything. Be who you are for whatever you want. But it would make sense if he chose not to. If that is indeed the case.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yep. And I don't know about
Culturally,
y'all, but
oh,
I've been hearing
mhm.
about Busta Rhymes since the early '90s, and I'm sure I'm
No,
not
I
alone in
hadn't.
that.
I
Oh,
hadn't, and so you said it multiple times that that's what you thought, and so this is the first time where I'm like, well, Auntie, you might be onto something here.
like, and
I
not
see
to
what
tell
you're
my
putting
business,
down.
but I have been this. Well, I wasn't an assistant, but I've been in this position before, like with somebody like mad because I wasn't talking to them in my phone and stuff like that. So they tried to. So listen, I know what it looks like. I've been in this life for a very long time.
Yes, I believe you. And
Well,
favorite Taurus is right. It is a generational, cultural, blah, all those things. I get it. But I just love when people can live their truth.
yep. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about Busta Rhymes or his bottom before we go to the next story? Allegedly, allegedly. Well, y'all, this next story. So Kelly Clarkson, this is interesting because she's been missing a lot of dates for her Vegas residency, due to family emergencies. So we're going to talk about one of them. I have this
Mm-hmm.
CNN article. You see where it says Kelly Clarkson postpones Las Vegas residency dates because of ex-husband Brandon Blackstock's illness. And I actually found this to be like quite interesting because y'all remember like we've talked about her her and her ex and stuff, and pretty much well, it's in the article, so let's just go ahead and read it. Well, Kelly Clarkson has announced that she is postponing the rest of her Las Vegas residency to be fully present for her children while her ex-husband Brandon Blackstock battles an undisclosed illness. The singer and daytime talk show host posted a statement on her verified Instagram account, writing, "Unfortunately, I need to postpone the remainder of the August studio sessions dates in Las Vegas." This is a fact. statement here. She says, "While I normally keep my personal life private, this past year, my children's father has been ill, and at this moment, I need to be fully present for them," Clarkson wrote. "I am sincerely sorry to everyone who brought tickets to the shows, and I so appreciate your grace, kindness, and understanding." No information about the illness was provided. CNN has reached out to Blackstone for comment. Clarkson had been set to kick off an 18-date new residency at the Colosseum at Caesar's Palace in July, but delayed the start, citing vocal issues. She performed the first show a week later. The residency was set to take place through November 15th. The couple share a daughter, River, who was born in 2014, and a son, Remington, known as Remy, who was born in 2016. Uh, Clarkson and Blackstock met at a Super Bowl in February 2012 and married the following year. 7 years later, Clarkson filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. She and Blackstone, who served as her manager, settled their contentious divorce in 2022, with Clarkson having to make a one-time payment of $1.3 million, as well as paying her ex $115,000 in monthly spousal support until January 31st of 2024, and a monthly child support payment of $45,601. So baby, she was dishing out that money, but she said, "You know what? Let me go take be my kid's side while they daddy going sick. Y'all think she happy that this motherfucker sick? Let me
Look
that's not
here, because that motherfucker did her dirty, and to hell with his ass. Him and his daddy, who did Reba dirty too. Both of them. Fuck both of them.
so fuck both of them.
You know, there are very few white ladies that I go to bat for, and Kelly and Reba are one of them.
That's actually saved for me too, honey. I always call it, as much as I love Fantasia, and I love me some Fantasia. That's my hometown hero, well, home state hero. But Kelly Clarkson was the first American Idol, honey. She is always going to have a special place in my heart. So when I found, but then again, I also got it too because, while she was away being the American Idol, he was at home taking care of the kids. So
She had to carry him. She had to birth him.
yeah.
And now he in her pockets again, taking from her money. Karma, oh raggedy ass.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
First statement to my words was robbed, and I will still stand 10 toes on that. Anyway, um, this is a going trend because didn't she was missing dates on her television show as well.
Yep.
So mm, and they did never said why. I don't think we'll ever figure out why she's a Taurus. She keeps secrets, but it's just an ongoing uh, pattern that we're seeing. I just hope that she's all right, because I became a fan of hers during the breakaway era, and she's an incredible singer, an incredible artist. I just
A real
if
singer. She
if
is definitely a
if
real
anything
singer.
is actually happening, I hope that she's all right.
I
Yep.
think it's him. I think she's had to deal with his ass. He digging in her pockets yet again, making her miss dates because he want to be sick. All
Yes. And
And
you are right, Will. Tamara Gray was most certainly robbed.
fuck Nikki McKibben, even though she's dead. Anyway, but I
Wait,
give
what?
Nikki McKibben. I'll explain later.
I,
Uh,
I know. Okay, I got you now.
so it's and I also want to leave room or leave space for like the nuances of the situation as well, because I know all relationships are different, and especially when you're married to someone, there are intricacies that GP is not aware of, and so I want to leave space as well, because yeah, we only know so much, and we don't know the breadth of capacity of which the relationship was, even though on paper, from our viewpoint, it was husband and wife. In our minds, it should go a certain way. I just want to leave space for that not to be the case, and it's just something we don't know about.
Are you a secret Libra? Because you're trying to be way too balanced for me. Mm-mm.
No, I'm a Taurus, and I have a brain, so go
I
ahead.
don't know. I don't know. Your balance is really. Mm-mm.
It
What
might
is
be
a
his moon
petty? Because
sign.
No, no. Taurus Sun,
mm,
Virgo Moon, Aquarius rising. Uh,
Oh,
there's,
mm,
there's no Libra in my chart anywhere. But no, I'm just
mm.
very like aware of like the intricacies of like interpersonal relationships. So of course there's nuances to everything, you know. So that's all.
agreed. Well, did anybody want to add anything about nuances or Kelly Clarkson or her ex or her Vegas residency before we go to the next story? Well, y'all, so I got three more stories left. This next story. So I'm sure y'all have seen, like, because I think most of you in this room watched the WNBA games, and I'm sure y'all have seen, or if you even if you don't watch, I'm sure you've seen the dildos that have been thrown onto the court and stuff like that. And it's
Dildo.
been
No,
uh
I didn't see it. I saw about it, but I hadn't seen it.
yes, some fans have been throwing dildos onto the floor at these on the floor at these WNBA games, trying to be funny. They actually just arrested somebody because of that. Well, anyway, they've been doing it so much that the toy companies have actually come out to make comments. Excuse me, the sex toy companies rather. They've come out to make comments. And keep in mind, I say sex toy companies, plural. So more than one has come out to say something about this. So you see where it says, I have this TMZ article, Adult Toy Companies, chill out, WNBA fans, stop throwing sex objects at games. Well, there's one of them. Some fans are laughing their asses off at the recent dildo throwing trend at WNBA games, but the companies that make sex toys don't find it funny, telling us it's disrespectful and needs to stop. TMZ Sports spoke with several sex toy makers, including Twisted Fantasies owner is that Avi Goldstein, who blasted the behavior. We make adult toys for the bedroom, not for throwing around at basketball games, Goldstein told us. What happened at those games was completely inappropriate, putting players and fans at risk, incredibly disrespectful to these amazing athletes, and frankly, not something kids should be seeing during a family sports event. The owner added, we're all for passionate fans and people embracing their sexuality in healthy ways, but there's definitely a time and a place for that. A public sporting event isn't it. And Goldstein isn't alone. Naughty Fox, another company that makes a variety of different sex toys, also knocked the trend, saying although they like to see people enjoy their products, it's not the appropriate setting. We're all for fun and freedom, Naughty Fox told us, but throwing sex toys at WNBA players definitely crosses a line. Please keep the game sporty and the toys in the bedroom. Of course, the craze was ignited last week when someone tossed a sex toy on the court. Since it has happened at least two other times, including Tuesday night during the Fever versus Sparks game, hitting star Sophie Cunningham. Coincidentally or not, Cunningham had just asked people to cut out the behavior. The WNBA also wants to nip the trend in the bud, as does law enforcement, which arrested and charged one of the alleged tossers with disorderly conduct, public indecency, indecent exposure, and criminal trespassing. The fan told cops it was supposed to be a joke. Thing is, not everyone's laughing. No one is laughing but immature ass, stupid ass people because that shit is not funny. And really, to me, that's sexual assault. I'm sorry, like mm-mm, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny in the least bit. And the fact that copycats are doing it, you know, they showed the picture of one of the guys they arrested, and if Incel had a picture next to it, his picture would be there because it looked like one of them. You know, like stop it.
Hmm. And unfortunately, that is that's the MO of these weird old men. Um, and I don't know why they think things like this is like a middle school childish behavior. It's just terrible.
Yep. Go ahead, favorite tourist.
You will never see this at an NBA game. And I absolutely hate it. It's like another example of how folks in this country hate women, which I absolutely cannot stand. Now they may these people who are performing these actions may think they can get away with it, but I want to hear shit when one of the players, somebody in the stands, whoop that ass. How about that? It's crazy. And the toy company is only coming out because of to do damage control, which is exhausting. I believe there was more that could have been spoken about, like especially if you're a toy company for a certain demographic and you see that this is, I'm not sure what to call it, but it appears to be harm against women or violent behavior against women, and they're using your toys, which are used for pleasurable purposes. Like y'all, come to the front, toy company, because y'all missed the mark here for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what needs to happen though is like maybe I don't know if this has happened already, but the fans, but then again it probably won't happen because I think the WNBA needs all the money they can get. But that fan needs to be banned from coming to any more of the games, like a lifetime ban. Because any fan that's doing that shit to me. But then again, I don't. This is sports people business, so I'm gonna stay out of sports people. This ain't got nothing to do with me. So, well, does anybody want to add anything else about the WNBA or dildos before we go to the next story? Okay, well, our next story again, this is sports related. But are y'all familiar with someone by the name of Jordan Addison?
I'm not.
Or well, we about to learn, or well, we about to learn who he is today because I have this TMZ article. Vikings Jordan Addison suspended first 3 games of NFL season for violating substance abuse policy. So this is the young man right here. And Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison has been suspended for the first 3 games of the 2025 season for violating the NFL substance abuse policy. The league made the announcement Tuesday saying the 23-year-old will still be permitted to take part in all training camp activities as well as preseason games. While the NFL did not specify exactly what Addison was being banned for, the wideout did recently cut a plea deal in his 2024 DUI case earlier last month following his July 2024 arrest near LAX. Addison was accused of drinking and driving after authorities claimed they found him asleep behind the wheel of a Rolls Royce on a highway near the airport. His attorney issued a no contest plea to a lesser charge of reckless driving. And in exchange, a judge ordered him to 12 months of probation. He will also be required to pay a $390 fine and complete 2 programs, including a 3-month alcohol education course. Drafted in the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft, Addison has racked up 207 catches for 1,786 yards and 19 touchdowns during his time with the Vikes. With the suspension, he will miss games against the Chicago Bears, Atlanta Falcons, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Mm-mm. So yeah, so the NFL didn't say what it was for, but they speculated it was due to him and that DUI that he caught last year. So stop drinking and driving, y'all. We have a comment. Damn, I was hoping he wasn't black. I know, right? But yeah. I'm just glad that his ass ain't hurt nobody out doing that stupid shit. My thing is, and I get that he's 23 years old. Truly, I do, because I was 23 years old, but I was never that reckless. Like I kind of knew it was just too much drinking and driving information that was out for me to go out there and willingly do it. So I don't. I feel like you should know better. And then, to be honest, like what he got was a slap on the wrist. Because had it been anybody else but Jordan Addison, I'm sure the he probably would have gotten like some jail time, possibly. But go ahead, favorite tourist.
So, Auntie, even though you don't follow sports, football is one of the sports that I don't give two shits about, to be honest with you. With the more stories you share on this platform about instances that happen, I cannot help but to further think like the NFL in particular is essentially a glorified jail for talented professionals. Like the more
Ooh.
say what?
I said, oop.
Follow me here. Like I haven't heard um that I've heard the most stories of poor behavior from athletes who operate in the NFL more than any other sport. And they all look a certain way, and they're all of a certain age range. And they all don't have, it doesn't appear they have the adequate support to help them navigate these spaces. So essentially, they are given millions of dollars to be held up in an invisible jail cell and do bad shit, and then they get away with it because of whatever reason. That's what it comes to me, and it's very unfortunate, especially considering that the majority of people you see performing these terrible acts are young black men.
You know what? I never like really as many like you said as many stories as I've done. I never really put two and two together. Like I just probably because I don't if it's sports ball, I usually like read it and then put it immediately out my mind. But yes, there is. I noticed that a lot of these stories about like where when it comes to either drinking or driving, violence against women, but they're all usually players or former players of the NFL, and maybe they had something like that. It is like a pretty much a glorified luxury jail for these men. And I never thought of it like that, but now I'm like, damn, you really done woke me up. 'Cause wow.
Yeah, well, and then also it gives very much I'm not sure if the correlation, but in my mind, it is like it gives very much like the police who do excessive force to do some fuck shit. Look, oh, we investigated ourselves and we found no wrongdoing, and we're seeing this in the story. Violated substance abuse and get a slap on the wrist.
Yep.
So I don't quite have the language to make that correlation, but I know there's a connection somewhere, and it's rooted in the foundation of the NFL that I don't think anyone is talking about. But yeah, that's just something that I noticed.
Yeah. And quiet as it's kept, honey. They might be getting like indoctrinated early to pretty much believe because I don't want to say this on a recorded line, but let's just say like I have close proximity to people who are in sports and stuff, and a lot of them had to go to them training camps where and I think they send busloads of young white girls in there to kind of look what you could have when you have this, and never mind being a good person, you're going to be liked anyway because you're going to be so I we could spend all day talking about this, but yeah, I damn, you really just woke me up to something. I never thought about it that way until now. Well, does anybody want to add anything about problematic NFL players before we go to our last story? Well, our last story, believe it or not, actually has something to do with the NFL as well. And remember, I teased the story before I started recording about I have another story about Trump lying. I mean, just flat out lying, honey. So I'm sure we all remember Saquon Barkley. And you know he got to be like pretty much in pop culture for me to know who his ass is. But anyway, you remember how it was announced that Donald Trump had like this team of people, and he was going to use like current NFL players and former NFL players and stuff in this team. Well, honey, I have this Vibe article. Saquon Barkley revealed as member of Trump's National Sports Council despite rejecting the offer. So, Philadelphia Eagles running back Saquon Barkley says he was definitely a little shocked to hear his name associated with former President. Why did they? Well, anyway, with the former president, newly formed National Sports Council, especially since, according to him, he turned the opportunity down. On Monday, August 4th, the Super Bowl champion spoke with reporters about being a member of the organization. A couple of months ago, it was brought to my team about the council, Barkley, who's 28, said after an Eagles training camp session. So I'm not really too familiar with it. The National Sports Council, established by Trump as part of his campaign platform, aims to reinvigorate traditional values in sports. According to an official statement, the commission will create school based programs to reward excellence in physical education and support the development of a presidential fitness award. It will also focus on restoring tradition to college athletics, including reforming the broken transfer portal and keeping men out of women's sports. You stupid fuck. Anyway, while Barkley acknowledged the honor, he clarified that he chose not to accept the role. I felt like I was going to be super busy, so me and my family thought it would probably be in my best interest to not accept that, he explained. I was definitely a little shocked when my name was mentioned. I'm assuming it's something great, so I appreciate it, but it was I but was a little shocked when my name was mentioned. Other prominent figures named to the council include sports legends such as Wayne Gretzky, Jack Nicklaus, Mariano Rivera, Lawrence Taylor, and rising stars like Tua Tagovailoa. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, and Nick Bosa. Despite the prestige of the panel, Barkley appears to be shying away from politics. He recently experienced backlash from seemingly closing up with Trump during the Philadelphia Eagles' visit to the White House, as well as being spotted with the president at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club and on Air Force One. LOL. Some people are really upset because I played golf and flew to the White House with the president, Barkley wrote on Twitter at the time. Maybe I just respect the office. Not a hard concept to understand. Just golfed with Obama not too long ago, and look forward to finishing my round with Trump. So, and this is the post here. But yeah, so he said he's not on this council, but they announced that he was
But I'm
anyway.
still a coon. But he said, but
Oh,
I'm still a coon. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. I'm glad he gave us clarification because I wasn't sure. I said, oh, maybe he, corrected the error of his ways. And then he just shed light that no, he just said, I didn't have time, but I appreciate the offer. I'm still a coon. Okay. Got it.
he really is though, because wasn't his I don't remember the entirety of the story, but wasn't his girlfriend or his wife or whoever he's with, like wasn't she exposed for being a racist or something like that?
That was Kansas City Chief wife. Um, what's his name? The mixed kid. His name
Oh,
is eluding me right now.
yeah, that I know who you're
Mhm.
talking about. Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Why the hell did I know that?
Because his wife's a racist, and Taylor Swift, pop culture crossed over. That's why.
Touche, touche. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Isn't Patrick Mahone the one that don't wash his drawers?
Is he?
I don't know, but
Oh,
Oh,
Jolene said
Beezus said
yes.
yes.
Okay.
we have confirmation.
He
Oh
don't
my
wash his
God.
drawers. What?
Well, for context, when he plays, and I guess it's like when he wins, he don't wash his drawers and he wears the same ones.
Okay, I don't want to know that.
Well, he shared it
Mm-mm.
with this
Mm,
Miranda. That's the only reason why
mm-mm,
I know. I don't give two shits about that man.
That's
Ugh,
disgusting. I don't want to know that.
I know that Tootsie Cat smell like bologna. Ugh.
Well, for context, I want both of you to stick your hand out, right,
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then turn it over.
Yep, you're
I
right.
know. I
Okay.
know. I know. And I was gonna say, and it's okay because he's married to that, and I'm sure they don't use washcloths, so it's okay.
Well, that was all the tea that I have for us today. So before we head out and before I go watch my Beyond the Gates, did any of you have any tea that you want to share? Any tea that I might have missed? Oh, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
So this might actually be old tea, but it's new tea to me, so I figured that I share anyway. Uh, I guess Flowetry is back.
What?
I
They said
actually saw
never
that while
ever.
the yeah, okay, you remember that, right?
Yeah, I was very confused. So they had shows because it was for Dave Chappelle's Soundcheck series. So I guess it was like a mini concert. It was like a spot day. Oh, it was no cell phone zone. That's how we didn't know. So it was the end of July, beginning of August, like last week, and it's the two
Mm.
original members performing together. I'm not sure if this is going to equate to like a full-fledged comeback, but just knowing what we know and the context around like the group and the breakup and all of that, I was very, 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 very extremely shocked. My wig was blown back to see them
Okay.
on a stage together under the Floyd Tree umbrella.
I feel like there was a come to Jesus because money was needed. Because the way Marsha broke it down the last time she spoke about it was they was forever done because old girl just was disrespectful and seemed to not give two shit. So my guess is money was needed and they had to put them egos aside and get it done. Even though they would be better together, honestly, in my personal opinion. But
To that point, Miranda, I think Marsha could should go on tour with someone more of her vocal caliber. I would think she would be great going on tour with Mary J. Blige.
you
And
know
they will
what? You
both
want me to
sound
cut? You
beautiful.
want me to cuss you out? You want me to cuss you out? You want me to cuss you out? And see, I'm not here for this Mary J. Blige disrespect. Now, if you want to run Marsha into the ground with her yodeling, then so be it. Old girl, she needs old girl to keep her reined in anyway.
Now wait
It
a
would be her
minute
best
now.
bet. You know, she out here by herself, then she just be yodeling.
Excuse me, honey, because that late night, early mornings album was a moment. We ain't gonna do Marshall like that.
And I didn't say it wasn't a moment. She yodeled through the whole thing.
See, one
And
yodels, one screams. See that? I think that sounds that works. A
uh-uh,
yodeler and a scream.
no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Leave Mary out of this. Leave my auntie out of this, okay? Leave my big sis out of this. She don't deserve these strays you keep giving her.
Well, it was very direct, Miranda.
Well, she was minding her own business, and this is about Marsha, and then she get a stray bullet. Like, what's up with that?
I, this is my musical knowledge. I was making a correlation.
You know what? Uncorrelate.
Mm. And Miz, is she busy right now trying to figure out how she don't have to pay Misa that $5 million? She won't trying to figure out a way how to fight it in
Mm,
court.
I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know. Is Nisa? Is she really owed that or not? But we'll see.
we'll see.
Guess we're gonna find out. I
Because
hate
if
that
they,
friends.
yeah, me too. If they can prove, because I think what Misa is trying to prove is that they were trying to do, because I think she and Votto has proof that Mary and her team were actually trying to do shady deals, backdoor deals with Votto behind Misa's back, knowing that Votto is part of MISA management.
And if so, then that's bad on Mary's part for doing that. I don't like. Then why would you do your
Mm,
friend like that? I
right.
don't I don't condone that. So if you want to give her slander for that, if it's true, so be it. But don't be trying to rob my adolescence because you are traumatized from your mama playing it all the time. That's not our fault.
Like, damn, bad business and bad vote was double homicide.
Wow.
I cannot. I cannot. But this is good tea you brought to us.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, so
excited.
I'm glad that y'all didn't know it either because I was like, maybe y'all already know. It's just new to me. But surprise! So I don't know. It might be the beginning of like I think it would be good for their fans. Like seriously, who have been wanting this for such a long time and who have been affected by their music in such a way since the early 2000s because they did play like a very major pivotal role in like the neo soul movement and it's still
Hmm.
relevant to this day even though they did like maybe one or two albums like it was lightning in a bottle, so it would be
Yeah.
great to.
That last album, when I tell you I wore that into the ground. And that album came out. and it was out during the time that my breakup with Orlando back in the day. Oh my God, I ran that into the ground. I ain't ran an album like that into the ground since then. What? Mm, it was a good one.
Yes. Well, shout out to them girls, honey. Real Neo Soul is back, baby. I hope this. I honestly, I personally would love a new music from Floetry just to see like see what Floetry of today will sound like. Floetry in 2025 because they have both lived so much life that I'm sure it'll be very different from what we know. But I hope it's a thing. I hope they make new music. So shout out to them girls and thank you for that, T. Will.
Of course.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
did anybody have any more tea before we head out?
No, no, not this day, but I'm glad I was able to make it before it ended because work was working.
I
Mm.
bet, but you and Beezus, honey, they work is beating y'all behind. It looks like.
Look, I said, I don't want no meetings. I need to go to daytime tea. I'm waiting. God,
Well, y'all,
this
it
is the
is
time I
always
get to be messy.
yes. Well, join us tomorrow as well if you can make, because we will be missed tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. But thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to come and join me. It's always a pleasure when y'all here. And in the meantime, you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
You too, boo.
Bye.